We are an economy that's 69, 70% consumption. So if we don't have the consumer with us, then we're kind of dead in the water. The supply chain disruptions that are emblematic in, for example, Ford Motor having 3 shutdowns in the past 2 days because of coronavirus cases show us that it won't be necessarily a factory-led rebound in the economy, and that it is indeed going to have to be led by the consumer. We have seen some promising signs coming out of the housing sector. The risk there would be that there was pent-up demand, spring selling season that's coming through the pipeline. We'll have to see what follows that, because again, if we're losing this many small companies in America, the risk is that we're destroying end demand.
How severe do you think the economic downturn will be, of course, as we count down to those Q2 numbers? Are we looking at numbers that are reminiscent of the Great Depression? There were some figures out just in the last day or so suggesting that the contraction over the second quarter could be something like 38%.
You know, the more math that is done, whether it's back of the envelope or on a spreadsheet, the more corroboration is backing these numbers that are really difficult to fathom. We haven't seen anything, as you say, since the 1930s in the United States, in the world, anywhere for that matter. And what's scarier yet is that there are some unemployment expectations that are also rising up to that 30% level, which suggests that there will be a more protracted decline in the economy that's not going to be able to rebound as quickly in the third and the fourth quarters, as I think is very much hoped to be the case.
You mentioned that the recovery, of course, hinges on the consumer. Do you think the consumer will need a lot more help by way of policy tools, whether or not it's from the federal government or the Federal Reserve?
Well, I think that Jay Powell, who's been very public these last few days, he had quite a few appearances for a Fed president who's typically circumspect and fairly quiet. And he has been resolute in saying that it is the fiscal authorities, it is Congress that needs to put more stimulus out into the economy. And that would suggest that you're talking about sending checks directly to households in the form of another stimulus, whether it be what the Democrats have proposed, which would be up to $6,000 per family, or a smaller amount. But I think that the Fed is saying if Congress is to pass legislation with more spending, that they'll be very happy to print whatever they need, buy as many treasuries as need be sold in order to monetize that effort.